Wanted to make this video to showcase some tools that I'm sure that at some point in our life we have all had and have used before and have probably gotten frustrated each time we use them. If you have these tools, I'm not knocking them. This isn't anything personal. I'm not saying they're terrible tools. I do believe that it is far more about the person using the tool and their skill set and knowledge and not the tool itself. Somebody that's good at what they do and knows what they're doing, they can make great work with cheap tools. It's not what this is about. This is just about some tools that I kind of personally have started to dislike over the years because of how they work and some better alternatives. This is not necessarily about the brand, but more about the product themselves. So enough talking, I'm gonna kind of speed run this. First thing are these folding hex keys that come in these cases. People will say these are good so you don't lose the sizes. I hate them because they're always tough to get out, and then that's as far as you get here. And in a tight space, this is just too big. And anytime I've gone to use these, it's always a hex or Torx fastener that's down in a hole or down somewhere, and this is never long enough to reach. Rather than these folding sets, just get yourself a good quality traditional style hex key, Bond, Huss, Vera, plenty of good ones. I hate the ones that come in these right here. The next one is these adjustable screwdrivers that work this way, where they have these different bits that pop out. And it's kind of like, if you ever seen those Russian nesting dolls that you keep taking them apart and they keep getting smaller and smaller. That's kind of how these are. And I hate these because you're standing on a ladder somewhere trying to find the right screwdriver bit. And it's like you're just like a Russian nesting doll, just taking stuff apart. I much prefer this style that has all of the bits in the handle and you can just spin it and find exactly the one you need. You don't got to sit there and take stuff apart in your hands. So those are screwdrivers, but while we're on that topic, and again, I'm not trying to be snobby or anything, but cheap screwdrivers. I've never had good luck with cheap screwdrivers. They always strip and round out screws. They don't grip well. They just don't work good. Get a good pair of good screwdrivers. You're better off having one set of very good screwdrivers than having 3 or 4 cheap ones. These are Vessel, Japanese-made wood compos. This is a Switzerland PB Swiss. Just get a good set of screwdrivers and you'll be fine. Just don't get the cheap ones. They just don't work good. So next is, let's look at Needlenose Pliers. Again, this might just be what I typically do for work, but I hate the big needle nose. I hate the ones that are bulky and they're just a bigger design. I much prefer these. These are Klein 7-inch USA made ones, but I just like the more precise needle nose. Look how much smaller the tips are on these versus these cheap Pittsburgh ones here. Anytime I'm using needle nose pliers, I usually need more precise, fine work, and I don't like the big style. I just don't like them. Well, we're talking about pliers. Slip joints. I love slip joints. I use them all the time. I can't stand just cheap, poor quality slip joints. Can't stand them. These are American-made channel locks. Much better fit and finish, just much higher quality. I love slip joint pliers, but slip joint pliers, in my opinion, they're great tools. I love them. I think 90% of them suck. Just my opinion. While we're talking about pliers, let's talk about this, and you'll see what I'm getting at. Adjustable wrenches. We've used them for years. They work fine. I'm a dummy. You can tell that I'm marking the Sharpies for the direction of travel. Adjustable wrenches, channel locks, pipe wrenches, they are directional. However, these are great and they're fine, but there is a better alternative today, and it's these pliers wrenches. The issue with these is they always have play and slop, and you can't get them tight. You can only tighten this little corkscrew down so much. They don't grip that well. Whereas a pliers wrench, it's adjustable here, and the handle has leverage where the jaw tightens. You can get way more grip with pliers wrenches than you can an adjustable wrench. They make them in all sizes. This is a fake home, made in France. It's Craftsman branded, but this is a French-made fake home one. Same thing. As you move the handle, the jaw moves and they bite down. You will get way more grip with those than you will with these. Let's quit using adjustable wrenches in 2025. Start using pliers wrenches. Let's talk about ratchets for just a second. Two things. I got a cough. Ratchets, sorry. I don't like quick release ratchets anymore. They're always bulky, and they actually make the anvil weaker because they have to drill out for the quick release mechanism. You're more likely to shear off the anvil there. But not just quick release ratchets, but I hate thick, bulky ratchets. This is a Cobalt. This is a gear wrench. They're both 90 tooth ratchets. This is a Cobalt Pro 90, gear wrench 90 tooth. Both 3/8 inch drive, but just look at the difference in the head size here. I mean, it's huge. And I've been in spots. I did an alternator in my car, and like this style of ratchet, you never would have made it fit. Only these more thin style ones would fit with the socket. So I'm not buying any more ratchets that have massive heads on them. I just like the thinner ones. And while we're talking about ratchets, let's talk about sockets for a second. 12-point versus 6-point. 12-point works great on 12-point fasteners. I almost never encounter 12-point fasteners. I have 12-point sockets if I need them. But again, 6-point's where it's at. And a lot of the cheaper sets I've noticed come with 12-point fasteners because there's that whole philosophy that a 6-point only works on a 6-point, but a 12 works on a 12 and a 6. I get it. I understand. I know if you work on automotive stuff or maybe some motorcycles, there's a lot of 12-point. I have them if I need them, but for general use, 6-point, way better. And then last but not least, final thing I'm going to talk about are these flare nut wrenches. This is a Urea. It's Mexican made, but this is proto essentially. Flare nut wrenches. I'm not paying Snap-on money. A lot of people know flare nut wrenches kind of suck anyways. Here's two alternatives right here for smaller stuff. And you may not always have the room. Sometimes only a flare nut wrench will fit. I get it. But these smaller locking pliers, these are Irwin line wrenches. They have this special shape here, which is literally for 6-sided hex fasteners like flare fittings. These, or the Raptor parrot jaw style pliers, which are made for 6-point fasteners. If you got the space, these are a million times better than flare nut wrenches. If you have any suggestions or any tools that you hate using or you disagree with me on something here, I welcome your comments. Thank you for watching.